Sometimes he's kind of running beyond tackles, things like that.
No, it's just assignments sometimes and just knowing where to line up and just being in the right spot. It's just details, just like the fundamental details. And then once you have that and that's second nature, that's when you see him really flying and taking his shots. And we want him to play like that just all the time. So it's just how can we cut it loose like that as consistently as possible.
Nick, what did you see from Bernardo Green on Saturday?
I saw a young kid that played a lot and played two spots in the same game, playing nickel and corner. And, you know, it's really cool to see that he could handle that and played well. Again, it wasn't perfect, but some of the stuff he did was really competitive. And, you know, getting that many snaps and being able to do those two things was awesome.
Nick, what are you seeing from Curtis Robinson this year?
He continues to get better. You know, he's been here 3 years and he made some really big plays for us. You know, the play before the play when Malik made that nice hit, he had the good tackle on the third down to keep it to fourth, and had another touchdown-saving effort tackle on the screen where they threw out that screen on the 3rd and 10, and you know, we had a missed tackle, and he starts getting out of a couple tackles, and he makes that tackle. I think they might score. So the effort of him to make that play, get off the block early, and just fly across the field. Held them to a field goal attempt, and they missed the field goal. So that and just command in the huddle was good to see. Curtis can play all three positions. He had a good game.
Like the offense has been hit harder by the injuries than maybe the defense has. How does it hurt much that you're losing these Saints practices when you are fairly healthy on defense?
I think Kyle made the right choice. I think just situationally, I think it was kind of a culmination of things. And, you know, the decision was about, is it what's best for the team to make us ready for week one? And I think it was just the right decision. And how he explained it to everybody was exactly what he felt. And I think it was the right choice.
You talked about Malik Mustafa. What did you see from him during the first game?
Someone who cut it loose the entire game and played physical. The stuff that we saw on tape in college, why we loved him. Really a violent player. He played smart too, you know, as far as being able to communicate, be in the right spots, but that he didn't hesitate and played with the violent finishes that you saw and everyone saw. It was really cool. Really, he had a good game.
Beal got a lot of work. How did you think he did?
He made some nice plays. Wasn't perfect. Want him just being more aggressive and just cutting it loose and playing as fast and as violent as he can at the line just every single time. But his effort was there. His finish was there. He made a couple nice tackles that they probably would have got more yards if he didn't. So he just needs to play more. That's just the bottom line. I think the more he plays, the better he's going to get.
Nick, why do you guys like bigger defensive ends like 270 as opposed to like 240?
Well, I mean, you got to set an edge. I mean, if you can be bigger and still be fast and still get to the quarterback, that's always a good thing, right? I don't think it's always you're going to confine yourself with you have to be this size always. You know, if you can, you know, set an edge and knock somebody back, knock a tackle back, and set that edge, and you're at a different weight, and that's fine too. It's more about how they fit the scheme, and you know, you're going to do the right stuff that we need to play good defense.
What would you say is your overall assessment of your defense at this point?
Right now, I would say it's good, and we're continuing to get better. I love our energy. I think we can always compete more. I think we've taken the ball away. I feel like we could have taken it more in the game. We just got the one. I know we had the 2 4th-down stops, which we love to count those as, you know, turnover on downs. I like how we're playing aggressive and we're communicating well. Depth-wise, really, even the young guys and the new guys. My favorite part is how our guys compete and how they're getting closer together as a unit, because we did have a lot of new guys. So what's exciting is how much they're gravitating towards each other and really making this defense their own.
Traditionally, you guys have kept 9 or 10 defensive linemen, gone heavy at depth. What was your kind of comfort level with that group right now? And do you feel like you have that many guys who would be, you know, 53?
I think we'll find out. I think they're competing, and you know, it's a competitive group. I think really on all three levels it's really competitive. So I think however the numbers sort out, we're going to have the best number of guys that we need for week one. Really, it's never – every year's a little bit different. So it's, hey, if we got this many linebackers or DBs or D linemen, you kind of just make that choice based on who's separating themselves and where we think that this guy's the best for our team.
Along those lines, Davis's injury seems to open up an opportunity. How are Brown and Anderson doing at that position?
First off, that sucks I mean, Khalil was having an awesome camp. He really had a heck of an off season. Just talking to him, he was excited. For him, it was, I mean, I talked with him, it was about being consistent and being who he is all the time. I know he'd had some injuries in the past, but I loved how he was playing. I was so fired up for him. And it was every day, and he has good energy too. So it wasn't just his mindset and how he is as a person and how he was as a player, but he was playing good too. So I was bummed about it, but to know that he can come back and will come back, and talking to him yesterday on the phone too, like he knows that, come back stronger. And now it's the next man up, just like any position. So with those guys, step up, right? It's their opportunity to show us what you have. You have 2 more weeks, 2 more preseason games, and as good as Khalil was doing, let's see someone else, step up, be that consistent. How fast can I, grow in this system and do it the right way and be aggressive?
If Wanda is not ready for week 1, do you feel pretty confident saying George Odom would be the starter?
I mean, he's done a heck of a job. He's gotten the ball a lot. Don't rule any competition out or set anything in stone. We do have time left, but Gio's done an awesome job. So has Tig, so has Malik, all the guys that we have. It's competitive, but Gio he's gotten better. Like I said, even from last year to this year, from the year before to last year, he continues to grow, with his communication, with how he gets the ball, and feeling comfortable in our system.
That's it. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kittle
I saw a guy that can cover real good, man-to-man zone. Good effort, not scared, pretty confident in himself. Obviously, it's his first game. He can learn a little bit from a certain plays, but I think he got a bright future ahead of him for sure.
Mooney, were you at all disappointed that the joint practices got canceled?
No, not at all.
Why?
You said why? I just want to stay in my comfort zone. We focus on ourselves and get better, compete against each other. I think we would have got the same amount of good work down there as we would have up here, but, I like being home, being up here.
Does it try to make these next two practices as intense as possible to sort of match what you might have gotten intensity-wise?
Yeah, I feel like we got some of the best intensity practice in the whole NFL. I'd have been on a couple teams. Obviously, Kansas City definitely, practice real hard, but I feel like we kind of matched that intensity that they practice at. So we're going to always push ourselves every day in practice to get better and better. So, we measure against ourselves. So I think that's what's best for us, in my opinion.
Explain it all, the injuries that you guys have had, a lot of hamstrings, hamstrings like that.
I don't know what's the reason behind it. Maybe it might just be bad luck, but obviously the goal is to have everybody healthy for week 1, first game of the regular season for sure.
A lot of the injuries have been on offense. So on defense with a new coordinator and Brandon Staley here, a lot of new defensive linemen. How beneficial has it been to have everybody out there practicing most of the time and getting better together?
Obviously, we want everybody out there every day. Nick, he a new defensive coordinator, but he not a new defensive coordinator. Like, he been with us for years. So, I think we want to just go out there every day, continue. Whoever on the field, they just got to pay to that standard, one man down, the next man up for sure.
Mm-hmm. You've been around Demo for a couple of years now. How have you seen him grow, and where is he at right now compared to maybe?
I think he playing at the highest level he ever played at. He definitely comfortable around the team, off the field, on the field. He just being himself, being a dog, being Demo, the hyena, making plays, a true playmaker inside and outside. So, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do this season for sure.
When you have a pretty young cornerback room, do you relish being the vet and kind of a leader in there?
I'm young too. I think. Yeah. I think we got a bunch of dogs in the room. Everybody gonna play hard. If they see me going Pro Bowl, All Pro, they definitely gonna try to update level because they feel like they just as good as me, just as talented as me. And I definitely think there's a bunch of talented guys in our room that can go Pro Bowl, go All Pro, and up their game. So I for sure feel like we got a tremendous group of DBs.
Renardo, do you feel like he has the talent to go both inside and outside?
Yes, ma'am. I think he do. That's up for the coaches to decide which position he gonna be at. But he done look good at both positions. I think he got a real good body to be an outside corner. He got the quickness to be an inside corner as well. He feels cool. He can tackle because in our defense, as a nickel, you like another linebacker, so you got to be able to tackle, and you got to be able to cover as well. So I think Ronaldo, he can do it all.
A lot mentally to have to be able to do that as a young player.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but he's smart. He's smart. He graduated, so I think he'll figure it out for sure. It's gonna take some time. Just being in the NFL, it's a big transition, So nickel, definitely you got to see pullers, the linemen, the quarterback, all of that. At corner is more so you focus on the receivers. So I think he'll figure it out eventually. It'll take some time. They're gonna ease him in though.
Mooney, this is your third defense that you're playing on with the Niners. What are the strengths of this group as a whole?
You said my third defense? You said what are the strengths? We just got a bunch of dogs. From the D-line to the linebackers to the DBs, there's dogs everywhere. Definitely going to try to be the number 1 defense in the NFL again. I know we don't like to make predictions, but, we're going to play to that Niners standard and try to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. Run to the ball, first turnovers, and, make the silent tape jump to everybody that watch us.
What challenges does George Kittle present as a receiver?
George Kittle, the founder of Tight End U, I think he can do it all. Great route runner, physical in the run game. Definitely one of my favorite teammates, one of my best buddies, in the NFL. So I think George, he fast. He got tricky speed, shifty. He can do it all. Best tight end for sure.
How much do you guys miss Ayuk? And give me your perspective on his hold in.
How much do we miss him? I think the season hasn't started yet, so we don't know how much we miss him yet. I think the offense is still clicking on all cylinders. You said give you my perspective on what's going on.
How do you feel about
I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I don't want to say nothing crazy, but they'll figure it out eventually, for sure. They'll figure it out.
One more, guys.
Leonard Floyd has a reputation as a pretty quiet, but, very tough, hardworking guy. What have your impressions of him been as a new teammate?
True professional, an OG. He been around probably, 10 years now, a long time. I've been watching him for a while when he was in Chicago and everything like that, and I just know he can get out to the quarterback. That's definitely, what we need on the defensive line, penetration and guys that can rush, pin their ears back and, play hard. He going to go balls to the wall, to the whistle, you know what I'm saying? So he definitely going to be a big help to us this season. The speed of it? Like I said, I think the standard going to be the same. Everybody going to run to the ball every play. All the coaches preached that, like, effort is not an option. You got to get to the ball. Everybody tag off on the ball carrier. We try to get 11 in the frame every play. Everybody get to the ball to show, that our opponent that we coming, that we want you. You know what I'm saying? So I think speed everywhere. D-line, linebackers, and secondary. All right, thank you.
I think before we begin, so you guys are out there at every practice. You guys watch us all the time, but there's a special teams period where I catch some footballs and I like to observe you guys. And you guys really need to up your sneaker game. It's absolutely atrocious. I got some Vomeros, those are fire. And Grant wears Vans every single day. New Balances, they look like Vans. Yeah, those are Vans. It's okay. But you wear those every day, so I need you to switch those up. But I observe all your guys' shoes, and I am disappointed in you guys as a community. So if we could up those, please. It's year 8, guys. Let's figure this out together. Okay, now it's all you guys.
Coach, you gave people got a good glimpse of the setup you had in Nashville when you brought players back and stuff was on social media and the field and the weight room. Mind me asking, how much do you think you spent over the years on making yourself a better football player?
That's a great question. I mean, I think I learned a lesson early on in my career. My agent told me, he was like, you know what, you're a 5th-round draft pick. You don't have, like, nothing's guaranteed. You don't know how long you're going to play. But when it comes to your body, that's your business. So spend money on your body as long as you're not doing stupid stuff. Like, you don't need to go buy 3 cars. You don't need to buy everything that you want, watches and stuff like that. But when it comes to your body, ask vets what they do and then spend money on your body. And I've done that, every single year to try to get back to 100% or make myself better every single year in the best way possible. My facility itself probably cost me like $1 million. It's something that, I had a dream about. And, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams reference there, a little Iowa stuff. And that was my goal, is just I wanted a football field. I wanted a training facility. I like to train with other guys, so I wanted to have enough space. I have anywhere from 12 to 16 guys almost every single day of the entire offseason. It's a fantastic time. I like to put myself around really talented football players to, one, compete against them to see how they're doing, but also to bring them along with me because I feel like I train at a really high level all the time. And so also being able to train, I train like 6 offensive linemen every single day, so I have guys to do pass pro with, I have guys to do run game stuff with, hold pads, who know how to do stuff, and then train out there with tight ends. It's always great. And then I love training with Trent Taylor all year round because he's one of the best release guys I think I've ever seen. Just his lateral quickness and how to get off the line of scrimmage versus guys. And I don't know if I can do all the things that he does, but I try to copy some of the things that he does, and I take that in my tool belt. Other than that, I do a lot of, I've been a very big advocate for stem cells and stuff like that. I try to advocate that to all players across the league because I think it's very beneficial. It's totally legal and it's very good for you. But I spend a lot of money on my body because, at the end of the day too, it's if you spend $50,000 on your body one off season, it gets you one more year in the NFL. Like vet minimum's over $1 million, so I think that's a pretty good investment.
When you had the guys at your place
Yep.
in Nashville, how did that plan come about, and how fun was it just to have everyone there?
That was my wife's idea. That was all Claire. She's like, hey, you guys are here. There's a group of you guys that aren't playing. You might as well, you're either going to go to, Vanderbilt, a local high school, or you can go to your place. And I'm 25 minutes from the hotel we were staying at. So got in contact with, our head strength coach, Dustin Perry, Michael Slapp, and brought it up to Kyle. He's like, yeah, George, you really want to do that? I'm like, have the Niners in my house? Of course I want to do that. So just being able to have the guys out there, and I think a lot of guys too, they've never been around, 75 acres in the country, with a gym and a field on it too. So it just kind of gives them a different perspective on, how their guys live and how their guys train. So if I can inspire them to, put a little bit more effort into their off seasons, maybe I'll take that any day of the week.
When did plans start to come in motion?
If I had my phone, I'd ask my wife, but I think she went over my head. I think she called Michael Slapp directly. And I was like, yeah, you're good, sweetie. You have his number. You do you.
George, what was it, just a brief exchange you had with Ayuk, a few of you guys, while he was watching practice today?
You saw that?
I did.
Oh, shouldn't he be watching practice? Sure.
On the field and what
Wearing red for the first time, too? It's crazy. No, there wasn't. Has he worn a Pirates hat out there? That's hilarious. I love Ayuk. I've played with him for 4 years. I love his mindset every single day. You guys asked Mooney, do you guys miss him? And I think Mooney answered it perfect. It's we haven't played a game without him yet. So as an offense, we don't know how much, his pieces are, you interchange pieces all the time. And, we've had Trent Williams hurt in a game and we've still won. So it's you miss him, but you can make do with it. So we don't know, right, at the end of the day. But I do know that Ayuk is a fantastic football player, and the energy that he brings every single day just elevates us. So just being able to have a conversation with him because, I don't see him all the time. I'm in camp mode, and just being able to have a conversation with him is fantastic, just how he's doing and if everything's going away the way that he wants it to go. And it was actually fun. We went to dinner on one of our off nights, and we're pulling out of valet, and he parks into valet. And so just seeing him, I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a couple of days, man. How are you doing? So just the chance to see him is always fantastic. Love a smile on his face.
George, what has it been like to have Trent Taylor back here?
Phenomenal. What else? Yes. It's fun. They put us across the hall in the hotel together, so we get to hang out a little bit there. Trent's, like I said, I work out with him every offseason. He's a guy who he just grinds every single day. He does it the right way. He knows what's expected of him every single day. I think you guys have watched in training camp too. He has probably the most catches besides Debo. He catches everything you throw to him. He gets open on routes that you wouldn't expect him to get open on, some long routes. He's he does everything the way that you want him to do it. You guys saw he's blocking his tail off in the preseason game. He probably played 50 snaps in the preseason game, and he's not complaining about it. He's just out there playing football. So, he's everything that you want in a teammate and as a 49er. So I'm just glad that we had the opportunity to bring him back there. And also having, a lot of stability at punt returner makes me really happy. It's not something I ever have to worry about because I think Trent, in his whole career has been top 5, top 10 most of his career too in punt returning. So that always makes me really happy when I don't have to worry about special teams.
George, you're on we're going to say a Hall of Fame trajectory in your career.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if you retired now, maybe you may not Hall of Fame, but do you ever think about that? Or if you were to stage in your career, I've accomplished a lot, I'd like to kind of cement my legacy?
I think if you think like that, it's pretty dangerous. And I've just tried to have the same mindset since I, got in here as a rookie, is just to practice my ass off every single day. And if you show up here every single day and you play at an incredibly high level, then you're going to continually find yourself on the field and continually find yourself in having opportunities to make amazing plays and continue to further your legacy or whatever that is. And I'm going into year 8. I've played good football, but I got plenty of great football left in front of me. So that's all I'm going to focus on is one day at a time. And whenever that time comes, it'll happen. And whenever the wheels fall off, that happens. And I don't really expect that to happen anytime soon. But I try not to think about anything like that. There's a lot of great players on this football team that allow me to better myself every single day.
George, a couple of good tight ends.
Holy cow, guys. You both get one. I was going to go to him first.
A couple of tight ends that are impressive. Saubert had that pancake in the game.
Fantastic.
And then the young kid, Pline, looks good. What do you think of those two guys so far?
It's fun. Eric Saubert, just same draft class, and known him a little bit throughout our career. Always loved talking to him. He's a great dude. What I really like about him is he has a fantastic mindset. He was like, I'm going to come out there, I'm going to hit people, and I'm going to try to get better at run blocking. I'm going to try to figure out the way you guys run the football. And just to see how he's gotten better in our scheme from OTAs to now, it's awesome. And just to see him every single day go at it with that work ethic. And I have a sense of humor once in a while, so he also has a sense of humor, so having that banter in our tight end room is fantastic because camp meetings get pretty long and occasionally boring, so you have to always refresh yourself to try to stay focused on the little things. And so having him in there is fantastic, but he understands, and he gets like the standard of the level of play that tight ends in this room want to play at, and that was something that we talked about when I had John Embry here as my tight ends coach, and he kind of established that. He goes, we're going to play at this standard. If you're not playing at this standard, you're not going to be in this room. And so he had Embo for training camp last year in Miami, and so he kind of understands that. So he came right in this room and fit right in because he knows how we want to play football, and like he's seen how Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly played, and like just the level of that they played at. And so for him just to come in and accept that and just grind, I've really appreciated that. My guy Mason Plain, he's everything you want in a rookie. He makes some dumb mistakes once in a while, but like I made a ton of dumb mistakes when I was a rookie, and he's doing a good job of not making the same mistake twice. He's learning from his mistakes, but he gives fantastic effort every single time he's out there. He's he leaves every practice exhausted, which you should do as a rookie because most rookies don't get a lot of reps. But he's just flying around everywhere, so he's exhausted, and I really appreciate that from him. And he does all the extra meetings with our tight end coaches, and he's always just very eager. He's always asking questions, and I really appreciate that. And he's just a really good rookie who understands that you're not getting a lot of reps, but whenever they come to you, you have to take advantage of that opportunity.
George, you brought up Trent.
I said him first.
I tried to get one when
That's
before Eric.
She said one last time, and you still got an extra one at the end anyway. So we're gonna go there and then there.
Maybe the complete opposite of a Hall of Fame question. But in Monday's practice, the ball was thrown to you an awful lot.
It's wild, right?
In a practice like that, I mean, is it designed that way, or does it just kind of happen? And also, coming off of a game, I know the only ones that got reps, but like, is there something about setting a tone in that type of a practice?
Setting a tone, yes, 100%. Because it's like the starters, we had an off day, travel day, game, off day, and then you have that practice. So like you haven't practiced in a while, so you need to go out there, you need to run, you need to do stuff. So you want to go out there, and it's not like a jog through practice. You want to go out there and it's not going to be the hardest practice of your career, and you're not in pads. Like you still got to go out there and work on stuff. So definitely setting the tone 100%. You want to go out there and take advantage of those reps. I cannot tell you why the ball found me multiple times. That's just kind of like, every game I play, it's like I have one target or I have 12 targets. It just is what it is, and I'm happy to catch the ball when it's thrown to me. Yes, Jennifer?
You brought up Trent Williams.
Yes, I did.
Same thing with BA not being out there. Is it like you don't miss him because it hasn't been week 1 yet?
Trent Williams is Trent Williams. He's like the greatest football player to ever play the game. It's like him and Aaron Donald. I mean, that I've played against. And, for all the people who are going to, list off like, 90s and 80s players, I'm sorry. But like the best I've ever played with. And so, yes, he's also like a massive human being. He's a silverback. Like he just has a presence to him. And so, yeah, not having him in the locker room at all and stuff like that, it's weird. But, no one, like, we all love Trent, and he's doing what he thinks is best for him, so it's okay. And I think Jalen Moore's done a good job of playing left tackle for us. And also, like, I appreciate getting extra reps because the one thing about Trent Williams is I don't need to practice with Trent that often because he's so good that it's more of me like, hey, George, get out of the way so I can block this guy by myself. And I'm like, hey, man, you make my job easier. So getting the extra reps with Jalen, I think, is really beneficial because he's gotten a lot of snaps for us in the last couple of years. And so if I can get really good at working with him, Trent will just fit in seamlessly. Not worried about it. Thank you, guys. Work on those sneakers, please.
What are your recs for a sneaker?